So good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you all here to this class on behalf of the Economic Alliance. My name is Mason Duke, and today we are glad to once again be joined by Caroline Sancken, who is here to talk to us about Canva, give us kind of an introductory overview to using the platform. Go ahead, Caroline.
All right, so you are all here for what I'm calling Canva 101. And this is your guide to designing when you're not really a designer. And today you'll leave, we're going to be mostly doing hands-on work. So I'm going to walk you through how to create your own brand kit and how to do that. And then we're going to go over how to create different types of content. So we'll go over carousels, posters or presentations, and videos. And then I'm also going to show you how to repurpose your content. So that way you can create one thing and use it 10 times, but it looks different. And keep admitting people to the
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about me in case you don't know me or this is your first workshop. So I'm going to start it off with what did I used to do? And so I have worked in digital marketing since 2010. So 15 years. Like, it's not that long, but it's a long time. And so I used to work with entertainment brands like TV and movie studios, fast food chains. You can always ask me which ones, environmental nonprofits, news publishers, and hotels. So almost everything.
What was your favorite?
Ooh, good question. I can't pick just one, which is not the right answer for favorites, but I had a few. And I really liked the teams that I worked with. So one was the Navy, actually, even though that was not my thing. But the team was super nice and they were trying to do some really cool stuff. And I didn't know anything about the Navy and I learned a lot about it. And then we were able to tell the story of like different positions within the Navy and getting a lot of people excited about it. Who were 18 to 24. It was a very specific age range of like, these are the people who can go to the Navy. And then I also really liked Caesars Entertainment, which based out of Las Vegas. Yeah. Fast food was fun, but I don't really eat fast food. And so that was, the work was interesting, but I didn't necessarily like promoting fast food. But Caesars was fun and trying to build out experiences for people to go to Las Vegas and go to the shows and hotels and eat the food. So yeah, those were a couple fun ones. Thank you for asking. And then I used to create social content for TV shows. So anything that would appear while also on the website and across social media platforms. And I did it for shows like The Office and Parks and Rec. And I did it using Photoshop and other Adobe suites. So if Canva was around back in the day, that would have made my life a lot easier. But anyway, I used those tools when I first started. And then I got laid off from my job. And so that prompted me to start my own business. So now I do social media advertising and I started that in 2024. And I use Canva every single day to design anything from ads that you might see across, again, any sort of social network to presentations like this one, brochures, and even websites. So Canva is a great tool. And so I already went over a bit about what we're going to go over today, but I'll say it again. I'm going to give you some top design tips. So these, even though you're not a designer, these are things that you should keep in the back of your mind because even though I'm going to teach you Canva, if you don't know these basic things, then you can also create things that don't look nice nice. So this is going to be your foundation for design. And then we're going to go into a tour of Canva, where you can find everything, what sort of tools there are, how to build your brand template. So that includes logos, colors, fonts, feel for how you want your content to be, how to create content from templates, and we'll go over different types of content. If there are certain things that you want to see how to do, you can also tell me and we'll work through that here. And then again, how to repurpose that content. So you don't have to spend hours creating 100 different things. You can create 5 and then create 10 versions of each of your set. So here are a few Canva design tips for you to keep in mind. 2 things I'll say before I get into this. Mason will send out this, it's a very short deck. We'll send this out to all of you who have registered here, so you don't necessarily need to write this down. And I want this to be very interactive, so if you have any questions or something doesn't make sense, feel free to interrupt. If you're on Zoom, you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself and we'll go from there. So, first tip, stick to 2 fonts. Only 2 fonts. If you use 10 different fonts throughout something, that is going to be very hard for a viewer to grasp what you're saying. The brain can't comprehend that many different typefaces on a screen or in print. So stick to 2. I like to pick one for headlines and one for body text. And that way it keeps the eye focused on what are the important things that people need to know, and you can follow it along in the document. Use high contrast. So your text should pop off the background. So if you are using a dark background, use a light text, and then vice versa. If you're using a light background, use a dark text. If things start to blend together, especially if there's any sort of, like if someone has any sort of disability in any way, it is very hard for them to differentiate the text on the screen. Use your brand colors, always. That's why we're going to go over how to create your brand kit today, because everything you put out there, you want people to know that it's you. And that comes from your colors and it comes from your fonts. So if you keep playing around with those and you have 5 different versions of colors and fonts, people don't know that it's you. You think about the big brands, you think about Nike, you think about McDonald's, you think about Coca-Cola, you know it's them because it's always same colors, same font, same sort of feel. So that's what you want to do as well. And Canva makes it very easy to apply that to everything that you create. You want to make sure everything is aligned. So Canva has these pink guides that tell you when things are spaced evenly, and it helps you align your text and images, and it just helps you make things look more professional. Customized templates. We're going to go over templates, and it's a great tool to take something that they've already done. Designers have created these, and you can just use it, but you need to customize it with your colors and your font. So take what they've done, but make it your own. Don't just copy paste, basically. And then high quality images. If you have an image that is blurry, don't use it. Just try and find something else, because that is one way to make something look not very professional, is if it's not a high quality visual. So keep that in mind and build your brand kit. So I'm going to just show you quickly what that might look like, because this is what we're going to do today. I created a fake company called Inhalo, and it does something with oxygen. I was like, what could be something silly that I could create? So this is like the cleanest air you'll breathe. You come into Inhalo and you'll feel like magic with the oxygen that you're breathing. So there's my logo on top, and you can see that there's a few different versions of it. Then I have my color palette. And then I've got my 2 fonts. And you can see that I can use different weights of my fonts, but I'm only using 2. So that's how you can add variation to your content or any sort of like presentation or print material that you put out, but you're only using 2. And this is, does anybody already have one of these?
We do with WorkSource.
Okay.
We have to use there.
Yeah. And do you have it in Canva? Have you used Canva before? No. Okay.
No.
Great. So on that note, we are going to get right into it. So I am going to show you basically what the home page of Canva looks like. So right here, you can search your design. So these are things that you have created previously. You can go to templates, and it allows you to search any type of template that you might want. So for example, you can type something in like, okay, maybe you're putting together an annual report. I can go annual report and hit search, and it shows me all of these different templates down here that I could use and turn into my own annual report. Now, let's say I don't want to do that, and I can just explore the templates that they have here already. You can also click over here. If it's gonna, we'll go back to the home page. And you can see here that it gives you all of these different sizes, and these will also be templates. So if you want to design for social media, you can click see all, and it's going to show you, it'll give you a popular, and then you can see that it gives you different social platforms, and it automatically sizes it for you. So you can click through any of these. So this is where you would create a design. And again, these are all of your options over here for things that are pre-created by Canva. My computer is taking a long time to catch up to the screen. There we go. So what you also have here, in case you want, is if you click on more, they have something called Design School. Also, this is brand new, so if you wanted to learn more specific things on your own, you can go here and take courses on Design School right here. Projects, this is where you can create folders for different projects that you're working on. So maybe you have different businesses, you could create a folder for each of those businesses. Or maybe if you have email marketing versus social versus posters, you could create folders for each of those platforms, and then you can organize your work in that way. So this way you can keep things organized. Now, brand, if you see anything with a little crown, that means that's Canva Pro. So you do not have access to this if you're just in the free version of Canva. However, if you pay for Canva Pro, which I do, it's $130 a year, I think, or you can pay by the month and it's like $13. It unlocks a bunch of features that can just make your life easier if you do plan on using Canva. So I'm going to show you how to create a brand kit with the free version today. And then I'll show you how easy it is to do also if you pay for it. So we are going to start with our hands-on portion. So everyone is going to just navigate to canva.com. And if you don't already have a profile, you can just create one. Again, it's free to create a profile.
Pretty quick too, I would imagine.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Very quick. And so what I want you to do is in the templates section, I want you in the search bar to type in branding mood board.
No. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. And then so you can right there
Does
sign up or log in. So yeah.
So either. Do nonprofits and get it for free.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
We don't, but our partner,
Yeah.
our skill source.
Gets it for free.
I wonder if she set up a brand. Oh, yeah. I know she had a couple number. Yeah, I don't even know it.
So we are going to choose a free one today. So that way everyone can access it. So once you've typed in branding mood board.
Yeah, everyone gets different ones, right?
Yeah, based on basically what it thinks you will like. I mean, it is like the social algorithm that it is going to show you things that.
Everyone has different ones.
Yeah. And so look for a free one, and I can tell you what this one's called. So we can all do the same one if you would like. And this one is called Minimal Beauty Studio Brand Board. So you could search for that one. Perfect. Yep. And then you're going to type in, I'm going to have you just all do the same one as me. So type in Minimal Beauty Studio Brand Board. And then we're going to customize this template. Can everyone see it okay? I know it's a bit, there we go. Okay, so what I want you to do once this loads on the left-hand side is we are going to actually just change each of these to be your brand colors. If you know what your brand colors are.
Like,
yep, so you click on this circle, and do you see how it shows this color up here? Oh. And then we're going to click on that color. And you can see here, this is where your brand kit might show up. So again, this is the pro option, and my colors are already in here. With the free version, you have to build it out every time, but then it'll show up in your document colors. So it'll be easy to pull. But right now, because of this particular template, it's pulling in those document colors. And it also pulls in colors from photo. Yeah. And so we're just going to swap these out with our own brand colors. So something that I like to do is, let's see if I can show you my whole screen here. Because I'm going to show you how you can grab let's see. I'm going to use the Economic Alliance as my sample. Okay, so actually, I think I need to reshare.
It's freezing up on you.
There we go. Okay, so here's a little trick for you.
Like a dropper.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do is it looks like the Economic Alliance colors are this red, white, black, and gold. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, I'm going to click on this. I go up here to this color, and then I see it here, right? It's got a purple circle around it, so I know that's the color.
Oh.
So I click on it. And do you see how this has popped up? Now I'm going to take the dropper and I'm going to come over here. And I choose this color. And now I know that it also is telling me the hex code. So I'm going to copy that and put it here. So I know that that's the hex code. And now I'm going to go, I have to make this a bit smaller so that way everybody can see all the colors. There we go. And now I'm going to go to the next color and I'm going to click up here on the circle again. And then it shows up, my little dropper. I take it and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab the red. And I see the new hex code here, which I copy. Whoops. Except for I just clicked off of it, so allow me to do that again. Do you see what I just did? I changed the whole background color right there. So what I want to do, there we go. I've got my red there. And then I paste my hex code. I'm going to go to the next circle. I'm going to click here on this color. I see it highlighted over here. I open it up. I take the dropper and I'm going to go to the white. I copy that and I paste it here. And now I'm going to go to my next color. Again, I click on the little icon up here. I'm going to grab the dropper and I'm going to go to this yellow. And I grab the hex code. And I do that. So now I have the Economic Alliance colors. And I'm going to delete this one because we don't have 5, we just have 4. So there's my color palette. But now I want the logo as well. So I don't have their logo, but what I can do is take it from their website. Does anybody here know how to do that?
Are you doing this like a step?
So no, not quite. So what we want to do is I'm going to right click on that image and I open image in a new tab. And then I save it. And so now I right click again and I'm going to save image as, and we're going to say Economic Alliance logo. And now I come back over here and I have an upload section. So I'm going to upload my file. And now you can see I have the logo. And now if I want to show the logo in two ways, I have it like this, and maybe I just want the EA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete what's over here, and I'm going to copy this. So I can either do the shortcut, which is Command C, or I'll show you here, we're just going to duplicate. And I'm going to pull it down here. And if I just want the EA, all I need to do is pull this in. And now I've just cropped it to the EA. And now let's say I just want the economic alliance. I'm going to delete this over here. I'm going to show you what that is, the frame. But now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to pull it over. And do you see how there are pink lines that are showing up? That shows me the distance between the top and the bottom of this color palette. But it shows me when things are lined up. So you can see how there's the pink line through the middle and the top and the bottom. That's showing me that those are aligned. Now, if I'm not sure, okay, now it's all messed up. What I can do is click on this gray. I'm going to hold the Shift key down and click on that gray. I right click and I go to Align Elements, and I want to align them at the top. And it moves it up. And now I might do the same thing for these logos.
Shift.
Yep, so you hold Shift and click on Element, and that allows you to select multiple items at once. And now I'm going to align elements again at the top. But now, do you remember, I didn't want this logo, I wanted just the economic alliance. So all I need to do, because I duplicated that, I pull this out, and you can see that now I have the economic alliance. But I'm cropping it differently, so now I pull these guidelines in from the other side. And I'm going to remove maybe we like the red line. So now I have 3 versions of the Economic Alliance logo that I can now use across all of my content that I make. With the Pro version, you can remove backgrounds. So you could have this on top of a crazy background, and it will remove all of that and give you a transparent logo. That is like a great feature to have, because that means that you can put your logo on top of anything. It doesn't matter what color it is. So now we have our logos. We have our color palette. And we need to have our fonts. So in this, it says Anton and Quicksand. Those are the fonts that are chosen in this design document. Let me make it a bit bigger so everyone can see. So let's say I don't want this font. I want different ones, but I don't really know what to choose. So I can go here. And if I go to Design, and I go to Styles, you can see, let's click on Combinations. Is it going to let me do it? Oh, here we go. Just making me scroll down. So check this out. Again, you don't need to have a design background because it can also give you a color scheme that goes well together, and it can give you different font combinations that work well. So you can just choose from any of these. And again, that's if you go to the design, and instead of going to templates, you go to styles. And so you can see different combos of fonts, and they tell you all of them right here. So you can then just go to your brand kit and say, those are the 2 fonts that I'm going to use. And then if you like those color palettes, you can choose those as well.
What if Canva does shows fonts?
Then that's a great question. And so what I would do is go to, there's a website called defont.com, or go to a free font download and look for the font that you want, download that file, and then here's where you would basically add a different text. You can add fonts. So when you click on text, then you can basically, you can upload a font also, but you'll see something called fonts, and you click on the plus sign and you can upload a font. Yep, and you should be able to do that as well, just from, there's an upload section over here. Yep, and so then it'll pull in that that font, whichever one you want to use. And there's a lot that are free. You just have to download it and then upload it to Canva. And then there was a question online as well. How do you find out what font a logo is, like the EA one? Great question. So here I am on the Economic Alliance website. So this is where I right click, and you're going to go to inspect. And when I click on inspect, it's going to open up this coding console. And what you will be able to find in here is you scroll until you see font family, and their font is Roboto. Now, some sites will have custom-made fonts, at which point you might not be able to access that. But there are a lot of websites that you can just find out what font they're using by right-clicking on the website and going to inspect. And then you'll find this lovely coding console, and it will tell you what size and the font family. So I know that the Economic Alliance is using Roboto, and that means I want to use Roboto in all of my content that I would be creating for the Economic Alliance. So I'm going to come back over here, and I am going to click on the text, and up here is where you're going to see that text, the font. So I click on that, and now I'm going to type in Roboto, and there's all these different ones. And so I click on Roboto, and maybe I want Bolt. And then I'm going to change the name down below, because that should not say Anton, it should say Roboto. And I'm going to just make it Roboto as well. And that's what I wanted to show you, is that now it's recognized that I don't want to use this font. And so an easy way to change the font to your brand font across multiple pages is click on Change All. And it changes everything that's already in your doc.
Did you have a question as well, Angela?
It was answered in what in that whole context.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks, Jason.
Perfect. And if you're trying to decide what sort of text you want, you can always go to text styles. Or if you go to font, it gives you different options up here. Like, oh, maybe I want a modern font, or maybe I want a playful font, and it will give you all those options to scroll through, and then you can choose. And so now you've learned a few things, right?
Yeah.
Basically how to change colors in a document and to make them your own brand colors. How to create 3 different logo types from one with just some cropping. And let's say I don't like that red line, so I just pull it in a little bit more. And there we go. Now it's done. Now, the thing that you should know is if you pull, I've been pulling from the right and the left. That crops without changing the size of that image or that file. If I pull from the corner, that changes the size and does not crop. Okay, so corner grabs change the sizing. Right and left crops without changing the size. And also up and down. Up and down. Do you see what happened? It changes it.
Zooms like the up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's only the cropping.
Only the cropping on the right and left will cut things off. And so this is what you want to have for everything. And so what you're going to do is you're going to save this as a template, basically. So I'm going to save this as Economic Alliance brand board. I'll make it a little bit bigger for everyone. So when I come back over to the design, or let's say I click on this color, you'll see here, I have all my brand color in the document color. And so for the free version, you save this, and then you basically copy this page into any new document that you want to create. So it pulls in your colors each time. You would delete it later, but this is if you save this and pull it into any future design you create. It saves those colors and you just pull from it to make any of your designs similar. Now I am going to duplicate this and I'm going to show you something. So this is now my Inhalo brand. Okay, so now I've got my brand kit. So this is a pro feature. The pro feature allows you in one place to upload your logos, your colors, your fonts, and if you have a brand voice, any photos, graphics, icons, you would put them in this brand kit. So now what I can do is I want this to actually be my color palette. And it automatically does it for me just by hitting this shuffle button. And it gives me different options again for how I want it to look. But that's what makes it a lot easier because again, you're not having to pull in that initial design document into everything and then re-pull in the colors. When you have an already dedicated brand kit, you just apply everything from your brand to any design and it does it for you automatically very quickly, as you just witnessed.
Can you have more than one brand kit?
With the
Pro.
free version, you get 0 brand kits. With Pro, you get 100 brand kits. So you can create a lot of brand kits. So something I also wanted to show you,
Is that the same?
it should be, yep. That wouldn't be very nice of them to limit it just because of that, yeah. You can say discrimination, come on, we need all the brand kits too. So now, basically, well, let me go back to showing you something else, which, let's get rid of that. And I'm now back at my home page. And what I am going to do is I am going to, I'm just going to create a doc. Let's see if this will work for me. So now there's nothing here. And I want to test out a quick design. So this is where I can go to design. Oh, it's not going to show me. Okay, let me delete that. Because here, let me try something else to see if it will work. Okay, let's try and pull in. I'll just do a Facebook post. Okay, there we go. So a doc, because it thinks it's mostly words, it's not going to give you all the style, but something that is for design, it will give you these options. So I'm going to go to design up here. I'm going to go to styles and scroll down. And does anybody want to pick a combination that they like? You can just tell me when you see one. We'll go see all.
Arsenal.
Arsenal sounds great.
Excellent. So I'm going to click on this and now look what happens. It pulls in one of the colors and it gives me Arsenal and Radley fonts. So this is creating another brand kit for myself. You see, I don't have all the colors yet or a logo, but this is another step in doing that. Now I can add a page and do it again. Go back to my design and do this, and it's only applying it to that page unless I click on apply to all pages. But let's say I want to see what the different color looks like on that page. Okay, cool. Let me do it again. And then I'm going to do this. So now I'm going through and basically shortcut grabbing these different colors that are in this color palette. I'm going to add a page again, and I'm going to shuffle again. There's another color, and I think I just need to do one more. Ah! There we go. Okay. Now I have all of those colors, and I have the font. So I can go here now to my color wheel, and do you see how I have all of those colors in your document? So again, this could be another thing I save that I then just add to any future documents to pull in that color. If I wanted it on one page, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to come over to elements. And then do we want our colors, our color palette to be circular or square? Any preference?
Circular.
All right, so I'm going to go circle. Okay, cool. Here's my shape. And I'm going to just pull this in. I'm going to tell you what a frame is in just a minute. So now I have my circle. Let's make that a bit smaller. And I believe I have 5 different colors. So I'm going to copy and paste my circles. And now you can see that it's showing me guidelines that they're spaced evenly apart. Perfect. And if I mess it up, oh, that doesn't look good. And I want that to be evenly spaced. I'm now going to hold down the Shift key and click on all of those circles. Then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to, underneath Align Elements with Space Evenly, I'm going to say Tidy Up. And that is what it believes it's tidying up. Again, it doesn't always necessarily work. Do I think that looks good? No. So that's why you might want to use discretion with all of these tools, knowing that that maybe is not perfectly aligned. So I am going to actually just make all of these a bit smaller and then put it all on one line. And then let's see if it does that a bit better. There we go. And so now if I want to change each of these to the different colors,
Okay.
they're already here in my document because I pulled them in. So now I can just go through and choose each one. This one is hard to see because it's the same color as my background. So if I want to make that visible, then I would go to Stroke Style and give it an outline. And you can change the weight of that. So the lower the weight, the thinner the line. So now I have my color palette and I have my 2 different fonts. Arsenal for heading, Bradley for subheading and body. And I have all my colors. And now I've been talking about you want to save this as a design that you would then incorporate into all your future designs if you want to use your same colors. So that's where you go to share. And you're going to download. And you can save it as a PNG, which means you're saving it as an image. So I am going to just do page 1 because that has my font and I have my colors. So now I'm downloading it. And now I'm going to go to my upload section and I'm going to upload a file. And now I'm going to pull in my file here. And so now, whenever I go to create a new design, here we go, I'm creating an Instagram post now. What I would do, and again, this is if you have the free version and you don't want to create your own brand kit, this is how you do that for free. Then you would go to your uploads and you pull it into your document. And this would get deleted after you finish. You would add another page, right, where you'd actually make your design. But because you have this here, now I have all the colors. That's an easy way to do your brand kit. So does everyone want to try it on your own? Or do you want me to show you more things?
It was either the one that we started at the minimal. It's called. That's a brand one or this one.
Yep, they're both. And so it's whatever you choose. I wanted to show you the different ways of creating a branding template. And there's a number of ways to do it, and it's whichever feels the most fun and easiest for you. So it's take a brand template from the template section, like we did at the start, and you just replace colors. And again, you do the same thing. You still need to save it. But then you have your brand mood board. Or you can basically just create a blank slate. And then you can choose one of these styles and pull in those colors and that font. And then you use that to create your own brand kit, if you don't already have colors for it. And then again, if you don't really know what they are, but you do have a website or a social media profile where you like the colors that you use there, that's where you use the dropper tool, and then you pull that into Canva.
Angela would like to know if all of the files save as PNGs.
They do not. Great question. So I can save, here are all my options. You can do JPEG, PNG, PDF, SVG, but you'll notice that this has a little crown next to it, which means you need to have Canva Pro in order to do that. So this is a vector graphic. You can save things as a video, as a GIF, and PowerPoint.
I just unmuted as well. Is that okay?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
of course.
cool. Okay, and then does it have capability for converting from, say, from PDF to BNG back and forth?
Yep.
Is that a pro feature as well?
No, that's not actually. So what you could do is you could bring in a PNG like we did here, and then you could export or share that as a JPEG or a PDF. Or you just would download as a JPEG. Then you could download as a PDF. You could download as a PNG. Anything. So you can download as many times as you want in different formats.
Okay. I've noticed sometimes when I've right-clicked on a logo or even a photo, or sometimes it comes back as a web file. What do you do with those?
Yep. So Canva reads that. Not a lot of other sites do. And so what you would do is you would pull that into your upload section as that the
WebP
web
file or whatever it is.
WebP, yep. And then I would download it as a PNG or a JPEG.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, this is a neat software.
Any other questions on brand kits? Do you want to learn how to make more designs, or do you all want a little bit of time to do your own brand kit right now?
I'm really scared, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, everyone can
Sure.
take some time and create your own brand kit. And then that way, if you have any questions, I'm here. And I can help you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, and we have another question. I am ready.
Hi, I'm Kiana in Boston. Thank you so much for doing this. I was curious on that font part where you were pulling in when you were discovering the fonts and then naming them. Could I see that one more time? I was trying to follow.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
In this, when I chose the Economic Alliances font.
Yes, I was curious that process of how you were discovering it and then searching and renaming.
Yep, for sure. So let's go down here. So these are the ones that showed up in my template, and I wanted to change that. So let me exit out of all of this. And so I want to change these to, this says Anton, let me do the whole process of changing it back. And then I'll show you exactly how to do it. Let's see if it's in here. No. Okay, so this is the original version. And so now I want to pull in the Economic Alliances fonts. So I'm coming over to their website. I'm going to right click and I go to inspect. And that's where it shows me this nice coding console over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down. You can also filter and just type in font, so you don't actually have to scroll. And then it tells me what that font family is. And so now that I know that it's Roboto, I love that font. Then I'm going to come back here onto Canva. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the text right here. And then I'm going to go up to my toolbar, which is something that is very similar to Microsoft Word or Google Docs, anything that you might have used before. And then I can see that this is showing me the Anton font, and I want Roboto. So I'm clicking on this font, and I'm going to type in Roboto. And that's where it gives me all of the results for Roboto. And maybe I want Roboto condensed. So I can click on bold. And then it gives me the option. And you'll see here, because I changed the Anton font to Roboto condensed, it now asks me if I want to change the Anton font everywhere to Roboto. And I do. So I'm going to click change all. And now it's changed it across my design. And then I want to make sure, now that I have changed it, that I update the name of my font here. So this one says Anton still, but it's actually Roboto condensed.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm. And one last thing I remembered that I wanted to show you in this stage is if you have trouble highlighting something on your doc, maybe you have overlapping images or text, where you will find everything in your entire document is when you click on position. So I click on position and it might default to arrange. When you go to layers, this is where you see every single individual thing that is on your document. And so if I wanted to group my colors together, instead of having them just individual circles, what I can do here is click on this, click on the next one, hold down shift. So you have to hold down shift and then click. And now you'll see these three little dots. I can click on those and go to group. And now they're all together in one. So when I come back here, position and layers. Yeah. And you can also move things around. So if you end up making a box on top of a font and you want it behind, then you would just move the layers. And how it's organized is what's on the top is that top layer, and then down here is the bottom layer. That's your background. So being able to go to position and layers is a great way to keep your document organized and looking nice. So you can move anything around and you can group anything together. So you don't have to keep moving individual items around. And a fast way to also do that instead of doing holding down shift and clicking is you can just hold your mouse down and highlight all of the elements that you might want to group together and then click on group. And now I can move this whole thing as one. If that was helpful. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to keep showing you more tricks because this is all important for your brand. So let's say I actually want the Economic Alliance font to be a different color. This is an image, not text. So I can't just change the text. So what I'm going to do is go over here to edit. And then I'm going to wait 5 minutes for it to load. Sorry, everyone, my computer is going very slow today. And it's going to pull up this toolbar here. Now, the effect you want to do to change the text of an image is duotone. So now I click on duotone, and you can see here that it gives you some options. It'll change it to cherry, fuchsia, sea blue, violet. I don't want those colors. So I'm going to go to custom, and now I'm going to change both of these to be the color that I want. So maybe I want it to be red. So let me pull this over so I can actually do that. Now I'm going to click on the highlight section. I'm going to grab my dropper and I pull it over the red. And do you see what just happened? Mm-hmm. And now for my shadows, I'm going to do the same thing. And now I've just changed the text of a picture to be the color that I want. So again, that is amazing for your logo, especially if your logo or your company name is just like, I just want to put my company name on these different images or background documents. You want to be able to change it again so the contrast is high. So if you have the name of your company written in black, but now you want to print something that has a black background, you need to be able to change it to say white or a light blue or yellow. This is how you do it. So you would go to edit, duotone, and you would change the highlights and the shadow. And if you're like, actually, I don't like that at all, you can just go to none, and it goes back to what it was. All right. Sorry, I told everyone that you would get to work on your brand kit, and then I'm like, oh, let me show you one other thing. Okay. Yes, brand board is pretty much the same as brand kit. Brand board gives you a little bit more where you can define the tone and include pictures if you want those in there that depict how you want your company to feel. But you can think of brand board as like a mood board, and brand kit is what you would give anybody who's working with your brand, the basics for what they need to know in order to create anything for you as your business. So going back to our search, we're just on the home page. And this is where you can go to templates. And here's where you're going to search branding mood board. And then you will see all of the options populate down here. And you can choose a category if you want, or a style. Like maybe you're looking for a modern branding mood board. So it'll give you ones that they've categorized as modern. And again, anything with the little crown means you need to pay for it, or you have access to if you have Canva Pro. So this is the one I pulled in initially because it's free. And you can see you've got different logos up here, your color palette, your fonts. And again, if you want to use photos, you can. Like maybe you're a flower business, and so you want to pull in some nature scenes that you might want to incorporate into your designs. But there's a lot of free ones. There's this one here as well. But you can see there's a lot of different ones, so you can choose whichever one you feel excited about and make it your own with your colors, your fonts, and your logo. There's loads.
Shoot, sorry, Caroline, I got lost again. I had somebody come in my office. Shoot. How do I get back to your screen again that's right here?
Oh, this homepage?
The homepage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're in any design, what you'll want to do is click on these three dots. That's actually a great question.
Oh, back to the sandwich.
Yep, the
Gotcha.
sandwich, and then click on home.
Perfect. Thank you. This is a great
No
class. Thank you.
problem. No question is silly, and it's actually great for me to go over these things when you have questions because I forget to explain it because some of these things I just do all the time and forget that you might not be used to it. So ask away always.
One. Oh. That, but
Yeah.
I don't know, resized and I just dragged and dropped.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to make it.
Oh
show
yeah,
the
so
full-
if you double click, then that's the whole picture, right? And so what, yep,
Oh,
and so then you can pull it down and. And so if you want to resize what that looks like, actually, this is a great question. Okay, I'm gonna show you something else because there is something that you might notice when you are using a template. So these are frames. And a frame means that when you pull in an image into a frame, it automatically just sort of crops your image to fit that frame. And then you can't resize it. So a frame, I'm going to show you, is something over here. If you click into elements, and you're going to come down here and you'll see frames. And so a lot of times, if there is something in a document where there is a frame like that, then all you need to do is pull in an image and it automatically resizes it in here. That doesn't necessarily look good. And so what you might need to do is remove the frame so that way you can just take in the image as is. So you can see the difference between a frame and just pulling the image in. This works great for a lot of pictures when you're formatting certain designs, but it's not necessarily great when you have a picture that doesn't fit what you want. So if you actually want a picture and you want to resize it, then you want to make sure that you're pulling it into your document and not on top of what is a frame, which looks like this. These are very easy when you're creating design templates because it allows people to drop any picture into that spot without messing up the formatting. However, in your case, it messed up the horse picture that you want to show. So there's something quickly that I just wanted to show you about the frame, and everyone can keep moving on with your brand kit. And so what we're going to do for you is just delete that. So what you're highlighted on right here, perfect, and delete. And now you're going to delete that again. So you're going to delete that frame and now pull the horse picture in. And then there you go, like that.
So if like you have a frame and you drop in an image, and it's gonna adjust to that size, right?
Exactly.
So there might be missing.
It could be missing pieces. But if it's an image, like if you're pulling in a landscape image into a square, it's going to just show you a square portion of that image. And then what you want to do is double click on it, and then you can move what is showing in the square.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, if it looks too bad and you want to be able to control the sizing of it, then you pull it in as its own image. Yeah.
I have no idea.
There's your. And because it's an image, it's going to be. It's going to pull your image. Because that's the end of it. So it's going to. Yeah. If your image were bigger than this, then you pull that out and it doesn't change the ratio.
So I want to pull an image into this screen.
Yeah,
And do you see? I can't save it. It's like if I right click, I can only do link. Picture. I don't know. Okay.
Yep. And so
Can't.
if you right click and then. Oh yeah, and this is how they built the website. So,
Because it's meant to scroll across.
and then you don't get them
So
all.
you can't stop on it.
See if you can open that link in a new tab and see if they have that picture on that page somewhere.
Well, this one.
Okay, so try and right click on that. Yep, and then open image in new tab. So the reason why I open an image in a new tab versus just save it, and that thing saved as one image. And so
Okay.
then what you could do is still pull that whole thing in.
Okay.
And then you crop it.
Okay, so I'm saving.
So when you open an image in a new tab and then save, it's going to give you the full size of that file with whoever uploaded it to the website. When you just save the image directly from the website, it gives it to you in that size. So it tends to be a lot smaller,
Okay.
which means when you reuse it, it's going to be pixelated and doesn't look as good. So I always open in a new tab, get the full image,
So much sense.
and then you save it, and then you have to
Okay.
upload it.
Okay, so now, okay, and then how do I upload it again? Like I want to throw it into this.
Yep, and so then come to upload. And then upload file.
Okay.
And then wherever you saved it. Perfect. Yeah. And then you can upload your logo as well. There we go. Okay. Yep,
Okay.
and now you can
So
take
that
that,
is
you can
correct.
pull it in, it'll do the whole thing. Yep, but then you can double click on it. And then you can see now you've got this or cursor, so you can make it bigger within that square.
Oh, I see.
Or move it around to see what you want to show. Yep, and then you can click done.
Here, you did this, right? I forget.
Oh, I wanted to do this.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Click on the box and then go click on this box. That's all.
yes,
And then, yeah. Oh, I gotcha. This one. Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go. And then. Oh, that's on. Box. Oh. Yeah.
All the things that I wanted to show, hopefully not overwhelm everybody.
So. Where did you find the font? So I wanted to change.
Oh, yeah, and so you're gonna go to design
How do I change the start?
and then go back. And go to style.
Oh, that's.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, it's a brain.
And then you can choose any sort of font that you want there. And I would click on so it doesn't change your colors unless you want to change your colors. You can choose font sets. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then just when you click on one of those, it'll change all of yours.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Joel, we're just having everyone work on designing their own brand tags. Great. And then I'm going to show you how to use your brand kit, and we're going to create a few pieces of content. And I'll show you how easy it is.
It's like Angela wanted to know if you could use it as a PDF and import a PDF and then make edits to it.
I believe it should. So if you go to the upload section, okay, and then you upload a PDF, and then you pull it into your design. Okay. Then it should allow you to edit the text.
Edit the text as long as it's not flattened or
As long
whatever.
as it's not flattened. If it's flattened, then you can't. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And so I'll give everyone one more minute, and then we'll just use what you've got, and I'll show you how to do a few more things. I did share this with Crystal here that when you are in your design section and you go to styles, it gives you combinations, which means it's going to give you the text and the colors. But you can also choose just color palettes, so it will just give you colors. And you can also just choose font sets. So if you just choose this and you like your colors, then it will change all of your fonts automatically to using one of these font sets. If you like any of those. So I'm going to go back to my brand kit as well, because this is the same thing that everybody has. All right, so I'm going to show you how to use your brand kit now to create content. So first, if you want to change how big your design shows up on your screen, you might notice there's a little toolbar down here. And so this is where you can just pull that and it adjusts how big it is on your screen. If you prefer a different look, you can click on this and it's going to, this is how I add a page, and it will show it to me in a toolbar down at the bottom. If I don't like that, I just click on hide page thumbnails, and now I can see it in a scrolling form. So what I want everyone to do is, you have your brand kit on one page, right? So we're going to use the same document and we're going to create something else. So what I want you to do is click on add page. Yeah. Perfect. And so what I now want you to do is you're going to go over to your text. And you're going to add a text box. And you should notice when you add a text box that it should pull in your font, your brand font. So I'm going to make this bigger. Let's say 80. And I'm going to show you how to create 5 different pieces of content from one. And then I'm going to show you how to use a template and then change your colors for that. So here is my announcement that I've got a new product coming soon. So maybe I want this to be a bit bigger. So here's my text. And then I'm going to add a little fun element over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a graphic. So what do we want to say is coming soon? What might be coming soon? Like a store opening. So maybe, let's see, we'll have a box on here. People want to know what's coming soon. And I actually want to tell people when something is coming soon. And so I want that to be in a not going to show up in there. Shapes, let's look up stars. There we go. So I'm going to choose this. And maybe I'll put it over here. And again, every time I pull something in, because I've already built out my brand kit, it is going to make these things the colors from my brand kit. Again, I can click on this color and choose something else. Maybe I want it to be yellow instead of red. but let's just make it red for now. And then I'm going to copy this text. So I'll just say duplicate. And then I'm going to just pull it to resize it to fit within my little sticker. And I want it to say the date. So maybe I'll say November 20th.
Yeah.
Yep, November 20th. And it's very hard to read this black text on the red. I don't like that. So I just click on my text. I go up here to the text color, and I'm going to choose from one of my document colors. Okay, great. I don't want to change all my black to this white color, so I'm going to just not push that. So now I have a coming soon post with a box. It's coming November 20th. Now, I highlight this template, and I'm going to click on duplicate page. Ta-da, I have the exact same thing again. And now I'm going to change this red to yellow. Now I have another piece of content just by changing one thing. Now I'm going to duplicate again, and maybe I'm going to move these two elements. I don't want to have to keep moving the two together. So what do you think I can do? There we go, exactly. So now I'm going to group these together. And now I'm going to move it up here. But actually, I want the background to be red. And now this, I want to be white. And maybe I'm going to swap in a different image. But do you see how I just created one thing? You can duplicate it and just change one element on that image, and you've basically created something new. And maybe, okay, let's see. I want closed box. I just pull it in over that image and it replaces it. Again, does that look good? Not really, but that's when you can change things a bit to actually look good. But now, in approximately 2 minutes, I've created 3 coming soon posts. So now you can choose whatever it is that you want to create. You can create a coming soon for your product as well. It can be anything. But what I want you to do is create 3 versions of it. So just add a page and then duplicate. And then change the color, change the text, change an image. Only one thing at a time. Because the point is, I want you to be able to do these things very quickly. And it can say the same thing. It just might look slightly different, and you can reuse it. And I've shared this before in previous workshops. Anything you share on social media, 2% of your audience sees it. If you have 10,000 or fewer followers, you get maybe 5% of your audience to see it. Otherwise, you're looking at 2% of people who see what you post. So knowing that, you can keep reposting the same thing just by changing a slight element so it doesn't look like your feed is filled with all of the same thing, but you're allowing people to see something, but then it looks slightly different. It's okay to repurpose. And again, you can change the background color. You can add an image to the background if you want and say coming soon on top of it. And maybe coming soon stays the same and just your image in the background changes.
How do you shift it from background to forward or?
Oh yeah, great question. So if I want to bring it forward, so let me move this to the background. So now, what you want to do is click on the three dots and click on position and go to layers. And then you can just move things around. And you can see I now have the sticker behind the box.
And this you said it was for like social.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Step to or is it same?
Yep, so this is where you would go to share and you download it as PNG or JPEG, and then you would upload it to your social profile. Another option is you can publish it directly to your social channels. You just need to connect the two together. So you can connect your social networks to Canva. So when you go to share, I showed you how to download, but you can click on see all, and then you can see there are quite a lot of different ways. You can send it to your phone. Yep. You can, again, download. That's what we looked at doing. You can save it into a Google Drive, Dropbox, PowerPoint, social. You can share it to any of the social networks. They have all of them.
Sorry, can you go back to how on your phone?
Yep, so you can send to phone.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you can do it through QR code. You're not going to type in your phone number and then it sends it to you. You have to do the QR code first. So you take your phone, scan the QR code, and it'll show up on your phone. Yep. And there's a lot of options for how you can take your design from Canva off Canva to wherever you need it. They make it very easy. Again, something you'll see with a crown, and again, that means it's a pro feature. So you need to have pro in order to use it. So now, who's ready to create a design from a template? Everybody. Okay, we're gonna do a social media post. So, does anybody want to pick one that you would like to learn how to do? We can do an Instagram story, a Facebook post, an Instagram post. That's a 4x5. Instagram changes their sizing pretty regularly for what is allowed. Canva does a pretty good job of keeping up. And one last thing I will show you that is pretty cool. And again, this is a pro feature. You can go to resize and choose any size. And it will automatically resize everything that you've designed to fit that format. it's not, you have to go through and make some slight adjustments, but it is amazing if you get something that is a landscape video, for example, and you can turn it into a mobile video directly in Canva, and it takes less than a minute.
So when you upload, so you created a post and then you upload to whatever, Facebook, Instagram, is it gonna say like created by Canva or anything?
No. When you download it from Canva, it's yours. So then you upload it. There's no watermarks or anything.
So, is it the same thing as like when you shared it on Instagram, it would automatically cite it? Like on the share button.
It would not automatically, that I actually haven't tested. I think you would need to share it to the platform in the size that you want.
Already.
And that's part of why I like to take that control, where I download it in the different sizes. And then I then have it on my phone and I upload it or do it on the computer.
They send it first before sharing it. First download.
Yeah. And that is something that I actually need to look into, because it might automatically resize it. I just don't always 100% trust it to do it correctly every time. It does weird cropping sometimes where it'll cut off the text or the person's head. And I like having the control to make sure it doesn't do that. Okay, so what did we decide we wanted to create?
Instagram or like post. Not post. Video. Story. There you go.
Story? All right, we're gonna do an Instagram. We're going to do an Instagram story. So I open up Instagram story. And just for the sake of time right now, I'm not going to upload the Economic Alliance. I didn't download and then upload the brand kit, but this is where I would upload my brand kit over here. Well, I can do this one, I suppose. So let's pull this in. So now I have at least my color scheme. So I'm just going to leave that on page 1 for now. So I have my colors. So this is what you would do with your brand kit, because we're creating a video now. That's why you save it, and you're going to grab it. As soon as you upload it once, you'll always have it over here, so you don't have to do it every time. So now, what I want to do is I just want to grab a template. So what sort of video do we want to create? Or give me a topic. Anybody want a topic? Can do clothing, vacation, volleyball.
my daughter's traveling to volleyball state right now, so.
Okay.
Exciting.
So now I have all of these volleyball images. And let's see if we can find one that is, you'll see what's a video by there being a little play button on the bottom left corner. So because we are doing a video, I'm going to choose a video for the purpose of this. Okay. So I know that it's 5 seconds because it's showing me. I don't try that. Okay. So here we are. And see if it allows me to. Thank you. So now I have my volleyball for Jeremy video. And it's 10 seconds long. telling me that timing. I can change how long that plays for by clicking on this little clock up here. And maybe I want it to play for 5 seconds or 30 seconds. We'll go back to 10, which is where it was. So now I can basically edit this to be my colors. I have my brand kit here. So let's say I'm going to do blue. I'm changing all the red to blue. I'm going to change that to a lighter blue, and I'm going to change all of those. And then I'm using Roboto, so I'm going to go up here and change all the font that's in this template to Roboto.
How did you do that? Do that again?
Oh yeah, so I'll just click on the font anywhere.
Anywhere, okay.
Yep. And then I'm going to go up to the fonts. And then I'm going to type in the one that's mine. And choose it. I already did this one, so it's not going to, yeah. But then it'll offer to change it across the board.
Cool.
And I actually maybe have different volleyball pictures that I want to use instead of the ones that are in the template. So I can click on this image and I can pull in one of my images. Hey, this is not volleyball, but I'm pulling in an ice cream image. Right? They're playing volleyball for ice cream for that. Now, it also shows that these are all animated. I know that because one, this is a video, and it's showing me up here that there's an animation applied to these images. So I click here, and it's doing this particular animation, which is a rise. And it's doing it as soon as the image comes into the picture and as it's leaving, because it's animating both on enter and exit. And so I can change the speed of that animation to be slower or faster. And you see how it's just doing a little rise. I can see what it looks like if I choose a different animation. Do you see the ice cream? Panning in. Some of them look very similar. But these are all the different animations that you can choose. So you can create videos using images by just animating the text or a picture. So you can choose any of these. And again, they don't all look good. I'm going to go ahead and say that. They are there as options, and they don't all look good. So use with discretion. And again, everyone has their own design styles. Just some are a little bit crazy. You know, there's a neon flashing one, scrapbook. And again, if you ever want to see what something looks like, you just hover over that image. And you can remove the animation if you don't like it. And anyway, and now you have your video, which started from let's see if I can get it to play for you when it comes in. So a very subtle animation. So you might not want that to be 10 seconds because that's boring video. But what you'll notice is if you've ever used a video editing tool, you have all of the elements on your timeline down here. So you can click on these, and maybe I want the ice cream to appear last. So I'm going to change how long that's going to be on the screen for. And then this one I want to appear. And then that one will be there at the start. So now it's hard to see. But now, when I go back, I have them coming in at different times. So you can just put an image and text on a blank canvas using your brand colors. And by pulling in a social template that is a video, it will automatically give you this timeline in the bottom. And you can change how things appear and when they appear. And again, you're using the same thing as we did earlier with layering. You still have that option. And then this is where you can animate different text and images. We only have a couple minutes left, but if you guys want to do your own video, again, just pull in a template. You can if you want to forget about your brand for now and just practice updating some things in a template, then you can go to your homepage, click on social media, go to Instagram, and you can do story or reel. I find that reels give you more fun templates to use than stories. So you can say, again, you're just using templates here. I'm looking at good morning. I like coffee. I click on that and it pulls it in. And I see every element here for my video. And all I need to do is I can change the good morning to be my font. I can change the color scheme to be my brand colors. And that's it. If you're a coffee business or got your coffee match. If you are a climbing gym, you can put an image of a rock climber here instead. And you can do that by, again, using your toolbar down here, go to photos. Let's see if I can find a free one. Okay, here we go. I drag it in. And now, the rock climber is not animated because it's just an image, but this is all animated. And if I want to move where that is, I just drag it around. So it looks better. And again, I can go to these three bars, position, layers, and change how I want things. But that is how you just use a template and make it your own, and you can make a very fast video. Canva also has videos also, so let's say I did want an animated rock climber. I could go rock climbing, and okay, this person's climbing on a wall. So I'm gonna just pull that in. And now I can see them climbing. But actually, I want that to go faster. So I click on my video and I click on speed. And now I want it to go 2 times as fast. Now he's really climbing. And now you have your own video. And again, do it with your brand colors and your brand font. And you can stick your logo in the side. And then all you would want to do here is, I have too many windows so I can't see. Then you'd go to share. And Angela, this is where it automatically will give you the format that it believes is the best for what you're trying to create. So it knows that you're doing a video. So it's giving you that file type. But again, it's suggested. So you can download it as a picture if you want. It doesn't need to be a video. But you have all of these options. You can download it as a GIF.
Okay, cool. Cool, that's a neat product.
It's very cool. I don't work for Canva, but maybe I should.
Yes.
It's just, it saved me. It allows me to do what I do on my own. So I'm appreciative of it. And yeah, it makes it easy for anybody to sort of do these things without having to buy a ton of different tools and have all of that experience. It's pretty straightforward if you know how to look for it, really.
You were a great coach.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
I
you.
accept all feedback, good and bad. I have a tough skin. So you can either give it to my face or send it to Mason, who will send it to me later. But the point of these is to help you all do what you want to do. So I want to make sure that that's what you're getting out of it.
And you're gonna have another one of these, like a
Canva 2.0.
Okay.
That's right. So
So
201.
covering that one.
All the same stuff. No. So I'm going to show you how it'll be a bigger focus on video.
Okay.
And how you can create your own videos, either from using a template, but also I'm going to show you how to create videos on your own without a template, using images and video that you might have. So everything is also based off of your brand kit. That is also why I teach that here, because it's so important for everything you do to look like you. And so, yeah, so it'll be a big focus on video. And then I also will show you how to do carousels, if you all know what those are. So a carousel is like a scrolling, you scroll through and you see multiple images. And so I'm going to show you how to create a carousel. One that looks like it's just a basic carousel. And then what's called like an infinity carousel. So it looks like it's all connected. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that part 2 class is going to be held on December 9th. So we hope to see all of you there for that. I'll try and embed the registration link when I send out the presentation slides from today later on. I'll also send out just a brief survey that'll give you an opportunity to provide any feedback you might have. For those of you in person, I've got printed copies as well. I'd like to do it before you go. But yeah, with that, I think we can go ahead and call it a day. Thank everyone for joining us, and look out for that follow-up stuff I'll be sending out by the end of the day, and we hope to see you in December.
Thank you.
Vamped Canva.